Hello and welcome to this video on artificial meat production. Artificial meat, also known as lab-grown or cultivated meat, is meat that is produced using in vitro cultivation of animal cells. It is a potential alternative to traditional animal agriculture, which is a major contributor to climate change and other environmental problems. There are several methods of artificial meat production, including tissue engineering, fermentation, and cell-based meat production. Tissue engineering involves growing animal cells on a scaffold, or a three-dimensional structure that supports the growth of the cells. The cells are then nourished with a nutrient-rich solution called a culture medium. Once the cells have grown to a certain size, they can be harvested and used as artificial meat. Fermentation is a process in which microorganisms such as yeast or bacteria are used to produce a product. In the case of artificial meat, microorganisms are used to produce protein, which can then be used to make artificial meat products. There is a growing demand for artificial meat due to increasing concerns about the environmental impacts of traditional animal agriculture, as well as the ethical concerns surrounding the treatment of animals in the meat industry. Animal agriculture is a major contributor to climate change. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, the livestock sector is responsible for 14.5% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Traditional animal agriculture is also a major contributor to land degradation and deforestation. Large areas of land are required to raise animals for food, and this can lead to soil erosion and degradation, as well as the destruction of natural habitats. Animal agriculture is also a major user of water resources. It takes a large amount of water to produce feed for animals and to provide them with drinking water. This can put a strain on local water resources and contribute to water pollution. The production of animal manure can also have negative environmental impacts. Manure can release greenhouse gases, such as methane and nitrous oxide, into the atmosphere, and it can also contaminate water sources if it is not properly managed. Artificial meat has the potential to be more sustainable and environmentally friendly than traditional animal agriculture. According to a study by the University of Oxford, cultured meat has the potential to use up to 96% less land, generate up to 96% fewer greenhouse gas emissions, and use up to 98% less water compared to traditional meat production. One of the most important aspects which would affect the adoption of the artificial meat is taste. How is the taste compared to real meat? The taste of artificial meat varies depending on the production method and the specific product. Some artificial meat products, such as those produced using tissue engineering or cell-based meat production, are designed to mimic the taste and texture of traditional animal-derived meat as closely as possible. These products are often made using animal cells and are intended to be indistinguishable from traditional meat in terms of taste and texture. Other artificial meat products, such as those produced using fermentation, may have a slightly different taste and texture compared to traditional animal-derived meat. These products are made using microorganisms, such as yeast or bacteria, to produce protein, which is then used to make the artificial meat. The taste and texture of these products may be slightly different from traditional meat, but they are still intended to be a similar alternative. Some people may be able to taste a slight difference between the two, but many people find that artificial meat tastes same or very similar to traditional animal-derived meat. The artificial meat industry is one of the fastest growing industries. The artificial meat industry is expected to be a major player in the future of the food industry. Some experts predict that the market for artificial meat could reach $1.5 billion by 2025 and $5.5 billion by 2030. The artificial meat industry is still in its early stages, and it is difficult to say which countries are the major players at this time. That being said, there are a number of companies and research institutions around the world that are working on developing and producing artificial meat. Some of the countries that are home to companies and research institutions working on artificial meat include United States, Israel, Netherlands, Singapore, and China. In the United States, there are a number of companies working on artificial meat, including Just, Impossible Foods, and Memphis Meats. Israel is home to several companies working on artificial meat, including Aleph Farms and Supermeat. The Netherlands is home to companies such as Mosa Meat and Meatable, which are working on producing artificial meat. Singapore is home to Eat Just, a company that is working on producing plant-based and cell-based meat products. And China is home to several companies working on artificial meat, including Ascendage Foods, Future Meat Technologies, and Shanghai Junshi Biosciences. Overall, the artificial meat industry is a global endeavor, and companies and research institutions around the world are working on developing and producing artificial meat products. In conclusion, artificial meat production is an emerging technology that has the potential to revolutionize the way we produce meat. It offers a more sustainable and environmentally friendly alternative to traditional animal agriculture, and the demand for this technology is expected to grow significantly in the coming years. Thank you for watching this video on artificial meat production. I hope you found it informative and interesting. If you like this AI-generated video, don't forget to subscribe and like. See you in the next video.